Today is Hispanic Heritage Day, sponsored by Goya on 77 WABC. And we're celebrating all day long.
Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Colombians, Ecuadorians, Argentines.
We're honoring Hispanic Americans and the contributions they have made to our great country. This is the Hispanic Heritage Roundtable. Now, here's John Catsimatidis.
Well, welcome all. I want to thank Goya Foods, Robert Unanue, for sponsoring this event today, respecting all Latin Americans, all Hispanic Americans in the world. And we're here to show respect and to explain the problems of the community and talk about the community. And my sidekick here, we have Dominic Carter, who is going to be the chief MC. And Dominic, this is a beautiful day, other than the rain outside.
It sure
but
is.
But it made everybody come closer together. And the cook from Goya Foods, that food was, oh my God, it was so good.
Delicious.
And it was so delicious. And now that we're all full, you know, FOF, full of food. And it was, Dominic, would you introduce everybody on the...
Of course, Mr. Catsimatidis, and welcome everyone here to Talk Radio 77 WABC. Before I get to that, I just want to say what an honor, an absolute honor it is to be here with you today and to be with these great leaders within the community. Great leaders within the community. And let's start out on a positive vibe. A round of applause, please. It is a tremendous honor. Folks that have followed me in television and radio, you know I say what I mean what I say. It is a tremendous honor to work for the Catsimatidis family. What you are seeing today is what this family is about. Inclusiveness, bringing us all together. And WABC, led by John Catsimatidis and his lovely wife, Margot Catsimatidis. Is she here? Is Mrs. Catsimatidis? Okay, well, she's somewhere around in the building.
She's examining the food.
Yes, she did. She did talk to me about the food. And so because of you, Mr. Catsimatidis, I just want to thank you in advance. And I'm sure all of our panelists will. And I know we're led by our president, Chad Lopez. He's somewhere around here. And Emily, the chief counsel for WABC. But let's get to the panel. Very esteemed panel. And they're going to call it the way it is. Let's start right here with the NYPD Chief Ruben Beltran. Chief Ruben Beltran. Thank you for being here, Chief. To the Chief's right, we all know who it is, Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Please give her and the Chief a round of applause. The gentleman next to the Congresswoman, we all know, the colorful and always engaging, outstanding community leader that's always fighting the good fight, Fernando Mateo. Mr. Catsimatidis, myself, Dominic Carter, and Maricela Baez from Goya. Please give her a big round of applause. And we'll be joined by folks like Joe Ithia, and a consultant and community organizer. And I see that Reverend Ruben Diaz is somewhere around. Where's Reverend Ruben Diaz? He's right there. Reverend Ruben Diaz, thank you for your years of leadership in the community and for being out there on the front line. And so, Mr. Catsimatidis, I guess that we should start by talking about the importance of today of Hispanic Heritage Day 2022. And let's just throw it out there, whoever wants to go first, or we'll do it any way you want to.
Basically, I just want to say we're here to discuss Hispanic Heritage Day and the challenges the community has in 2022. We've come a long way, baby. It was an old expression, but there's a long, long way to go. The Hispanic community is 29% of New York. Is it that number?
That's about right.
29% of New York, 20% of New York State, and I think it's 20% of the country now, or something like that. and it's growing. It's growing more than any other community, and we want to discuss the problems in the community and what we can do to make it better. And who would like to start?
I don't mind starting.
Fernando Mateo, former candidate for mayor. You're never at a shortage for words.
Well, I try to make sense when I speak. That's about all. Well, first of all, John, thank you so much for hosting this forum. Dominic, you're a legend in New York. I think every New Yorker knows you better than they know anyone else. And panel, it's an honor to be here with you. Listen, we're in New York City. New York City is the melting pot of America. I think that if you want to go to Colombia, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Honduras, you don't have to leave New York because they all have a place within this city. The beauty of New York City is the fact that most immigrants that come here from Latin America, Hispanics, come here to realize the American dream. They come here to open up small businesses. They come here to create jobs. They come here to work hard. And one of the things that we as Hispanics have failed in is that we fade. We fade away, okay? Most of the times you think that this is a white and a black America because Hispanics are very we're left out, or we stay out of many things. And I believe that we need to engage more. We as Hispanics have to speak up louder. We have to speak about the power that we really have. And what is that power? It's an economic power that we have in this country. And we need to speak loud and clear, because if not, we will continue to fade away. It was said earlier during the press conference that we don't fight for a position, for a place at the table. And that's what we need to do. There's enough of us. We compose 1/3 of the population in New York City. And it seems like if we don't exist. You know, when you look at the high places where the power is, very few Hispanics are in the mix there. And that's what we need to fight for. Building America, building small businesses, and making sure that we're heard.
That's so very important, because you are almost 1/3 of the population in New York City. And you know what it is? Your leadership has to get up and speak out. And you got to speak out every day. And I think that's what's going to help make a difference, is the leadership in the Hispanic community has to blow the bugle. WABC is always available to you to get your issues out. So make sure you call upon us, and that's the most important thing. If we could accomplish anything today, I would say that is one of the most important things.
Congresswoman, what Malia Takas, what does today mean to you?
Thank you for allowing me to talk a little bit about my Hispanic heritage, because a lot of people, because my name is Greek, they think I'm Greek, and they don't realize that not just is my father a Greek immigrant, but my mother is a refugee from Cuba. To me, you know, I think that the Hispanic community obviously has contributed in so many ways to the vibrancy of New York City. And I think that the values are really the values that are shared among Americans across all different types of socioeconomic, cultural backgrounds. And when I talk to Hispanics, either in my district or across the country, or even those that I serve with in Congress, I mean, the same issues keep coming up over and over again, right? It's inflation, it's the economy, it's crime. They want to feel safe and secure in this nation. They want to feel safe and secure in the streets of our city. And they also want to be able to have opportunity. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is the American dream and preserving that. And so many of the Hispanics who've left their homelands, they were fleeing socialism, communism. They came here for freedom. They came here for liberty, like my mother did. And so I think preserving those values here in the United States are so incredibly important. So it's so vibrant and so fun, I think, the heritage and the culture. So it's nice that in New York City, as our friend Mr. Mateo said, you know, we have the opportunity to be able to experience all of that. And I also ran for mayor, so we have 3 candidates for mayor here that ran. Unfortunately, I think we'd be better off if one of us won. But aside, what I'd say is, as candidates, we obviously got to go into communities all across the city of New York. And one of my favorite experiences was, well, we went to go see Ruben Diaz, of course, in the Bronx. You can't go to the Bronx without getting your passport stamped by Ruben Diaz. But aside from that, hanging out and dancing salsa with Jose Rivera and all the little areas of the Bronx, it's so great.
And so, Chief, the mere fact that you have risen to the level that you have in the NYPD speaks for itself. And so, today has to be a proud day for you.
This time of the year, it's a wonderful time of the year. The season's changing, but also, we get to celebrate, Hispanic heritage. I mentioned before that I'm a second-generation police officer here. My father was a police officer who was appointed in 1969 to the New York City Police Department, and he passed around 2002. But I'm sure he's looking down from heaven, and he's and acknowledging the success that I've had, really with him as an inspiration to me, but just how the city has changed, how the police department has changed. I know that Fernando Mateo was just talking about fractions and about 1/3 and 30% Hispanics. It's over 30% Hispanics in the police department now. That wasn't the case.
Really?
That wasn't the case when he was on. That wasn't the case when I started 37 years ago.
So wait, you're telling, because I wasn't
it's more
aware
than
of that.
30%.
The NYPD of New York City
More than
is
30%
Hispanic?
More than
Wow.
that, yeah.
Wow.
So it's a great, and again, Fernando's also right that we need more participation and leadership from the Hispanics. So I'm hoping that my engagement, that my success in the police department, and me being able to mentor younger Hispanic leaders coming up can prepare us for that leadership and our participation that we need to really improve on, so that way our voices can be heard more clearly within the police department and within the fabric of the city also.
Ms. Baez, before we turn back to Mr. Catsimatidis, what does today mean to you? When I think about Goya, I think about the fact that Goya is always there with positive involvement within the community. Not just a sponsor, but doing the right thing.
That's right.
All the time. And so, and I mean that sincerely. What does this day mean to you in terms of your heritage?
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you all for having me. This day means everything: family, values, giving. Hispanic heritage empowers us, gives us a voice. So I'm very happy to be part of Goya, La Gran Familia Goya. It really does feel like a family, by the way. And all the work they do, the community work, they work with orphanages, with children, which was one thing that attracted me to work with Goya. It's just amazing how involved they are. Whether it is buying laptops for kids in orphanages in DR or Costa Rica, or providing food for a food bank in Philadelphia or Maryland, it speaks volume. It speaks to how
really
united
does.
Goya, and the Hispanics, or everyone in Goya are.